How many of you can honestly say that when you think of the Confederate flag, you do not think of slavery? Most of you can't imagine life without other races in it. We take advantage of our freedom. Today we're going to talk about the Civil War. Besides being a vivid studier of the Civil War and a photographer by trade, I have done research on the pros and cons of the Civil War. Today, I'm here to convince you that the Civil War, Confederate flag, and Southern heritage have nothing to do with slavery. First, I want to talk to you about the Civil War, help you build a strong relationship with what the true meaning of the Civil War is about. Next, I'll address how the Confederate flag has been betrayed as a slavery flag. I'll discuss how Civil War separated states along with the races. Let's begin by talking about the way that the North and South were separated. Not only the North and the South, but also the blacks and the whites, the blacks and the blacks, and the whites and the whites. Strong interpersonal relationships. Some people argue that the Confederate flag is a gang flag, the racial flag, because this is how they've been taught. I'm here today to tell you that that's not the case. The Civil War was a war between the North and between the South. It separated the blacks from the blacks, the whites from the whites. Slavery was around way before the Civil War. And today, in many states, like in Florida, they have adopted this tag to show that it's the Confederate States of America is what we call the Confederate flag, a lot call the rebel flag. They've adopted this. And on the bottom of this tag, it says something very important. It says Confederate heritage, which also means, to me, Southern heritage. This will go into effect this year, and the state of Florida will have this flag available for you as a license plate. I'm very proud of that. That goes to show that people are learning the true meaning of the Confederate flag. I want to pass around some pictures to you to show you of some things that happened during the Civil War. If you look at, let me show you this. This picture is a collage of the Civil War. If you look at that, you'll see blacks along with whites on the north side of the war. This also shows blacks along with whites on the south side of the Civil War. This shows how blacks along with whites, this particular picture is a picture of a white gentleman, died, and how bad the Civil War was. Not only did the blacks suffer, but so did the whites, and this picture will show that. We're trying to find ways to understand the Civil War and to understand the meaning of the Confederate flag. And in these pictures, the photography in the South shows you. Photography of the Civil War shows you the true meaning of the Confederate flag. We live now in a more interracial society, and that goes to show you that people are beginning to understand the true meaning. I have pictures that will show you people that are of all colors. As a matter of fact, I have a friend that's from New Jersey, that is a northern state, that has a Confederate flag on the front of his truck. We have unlimited interaction with one another in today's world versus interaction during the Civil War. We are driven as humans to communicate. It may take longer to have world peace, or better yet, we may never have world peace. But as long as we have peace within ourselves, we should be able to find out an understanding of the Confederate flag. We interact with people in our workplace, we interact with people at church, we interact with people at the grocery store, we interact with people everywhere we go. This is a free country and it needs to stay that way. We need to quit trying to separate whites from blacks. There's a place for all of us. And when they say that this is a gang flag, this flag here is not a gang flag. I would be offended if someone said that I was Hispanic if I wore a Hispanic flag on my shirt, because I'm not Hispanic. I might like Mexico, but that doesn't make me Hispanic. If I wear this Confederate flag on my shirt, that doesn't mean that I hate gang or I hate blacks or it's slavery, that I'm for slavery. Totally against slavery. Slavery was in effect before the Civil War. Slavery also, there was also white slaves, not just black slaves, and we need to understand that. So today I hope that I've explained to you that this Confederate flag does not mean that it was a slavery flag, because slavery was before the Civil War and after the Civil War, not just during the Civil War. And slaves consist of whites and blacks. Do you have any questions?
Why won't schools let us wear Confederate clothing?
Because they consider it a gang sign, and that's what we just discussed, that it's a gang sign, and hopefully in the near future they will let you wear that, because the word's being spread, even in a magazine, the Dixie Outfitters, and I have a lot of websites available if you need to look at those. It shows you that it's Southern heritage, not Southern hate. Any other questions?
Why do people think Confederate flag stands for hate and not heritage?
There again, people think that the flag was for slavery. So a lot of the blacks hate slavery, but they need to be informed that slaves were white and black, not just black. The majority were black, but it's a heritage. It's pride in the South is what the rebel flag stands for, Confederate flag. It's not slavery in the South. Anybody else? Thank you.